let the door hit your scaly behinds on the way out.
I remember the last time I talked to a god. Oh, wait, this doesn't just happen to everyone else? Well...
So what you're saying is we're headed to Mogren's Teeth, right?
You're looking upright, Captain. But something in your eyes tells me different.
All right then, let's do this.
Do you need something?
Already on it.
Scale-bellied cowards! I knew they'd run! Look at our beacon. Even the Colossus couldn't destroy it. And those snakes aren't so tough now, are they? The lighthouse shines again. We survived. It's proof that our people can conquer anything. That our works can survive even here. The Hansanui will want to thank you personally for your help here. And she should also know what we're up against. She's usually at the Brass Citadel in Nekataka. Though she gets called to the palace often, haggling with the Queen and the Valians. Looking for a real challenge after what you did to those scale bellies? The only thing I know about the place is it's supposedly made of fire, and no one's ever come back from it. But anything can be overcome. Clear skies.
Uh-huh. That order's too tall.
Light of Aethys be upon you, neighbor. Are you looking for survivors?
Short lady, about my age. Came from Deerwood with her son. Let's see. Freckles, braids, usually. Punches you in the arm if she likes you. Face, if not. Oh, and that's if you're lucky.
No, that doesn't sound like anyone.
You gotta be her son. Got her nose and her freckles. You don't have to lie to me, kid. I'm a friend of your mother's. She hiding from someone? Maybe an ex-lover who gave her the best night of her life?
No, I misspoke.
Forget it. Just tell me something. Your father, you know him?
I'm sorry, who are you? Right, Friends of Alavas. Yes, I knew my father when I was very young. He was a man of strong faith.
Have to be. You get a lava mad, you need a god on your side for protection.
He was lost to us during the purges, which was how we came to flee here.
So you met him. Well, that's great. You had a dad. Where's your mother now? Got a lot of catching up to do.
My mother is with Aethys. She passed the veil a few years ago. A flu. It's possible her soul has taken a new body by now, but if she was truly blessed, she marches instead beside the Shining God.
You lied to us. Said you didn't know her. Expect me to believe this now? Nothing cold about it. It's fevered is what it is.
I'm not lying. She's buried on the other side of that hill.
How could she be gone?
Don't be troubled by her passing. All souls that march with Aethys receive his warmth and light. Aethys has come to us twice now. Even Oblivion couldn't slow his march. We shouldn't have opposed his first coming. He meant to rally us under his banner.
Oh, I know a lot of dead deer woodens who will be relieved to hear that. You got the giant footprint on your back to prove it.
Aethys forced everyone to declare themselves as ally or enemy, nothing more. Now he marches again, and we have a chance to correct our mistake.
Well, that's charitable.
I would like to have joined him when he passed this way, but I was weak. It won't happen again. You can't build on broken foundations. Real change needs destruction. I trust my God knows better than I do. He knows truths I'll never learn.
And got that right.
I was once lost. I struggled as you do now. But the partisans of the lighted path have restored my faith in Aethys. What greater honor than to march in his vanguard? We began as children of the Dawnstars, separated from each other as we questioned our purpose. But then Aethys granted a vision to Gadarian Bosch. Bosch saw an illuminated path lighten the way through a black abyss, and he saw Aethys marching on the path, and Aethys bade him to march alongside.
Not quite how I've been seeing it, but everyone's open to their own interpretations.
And the Shining God told Gadarian Bosch to gather an army of the God's truest followers, and to prepare to lead it into battle.
You'd think after getting blown up, he'd slow down on the battling.
We don't know. The end of the path hasn't been revealed to Gadarian Bosch yet. But to the faithful, shouldn't matter. There'll be a great journey, but we're prepared. Gadarian Bosch knows the way. Aethys himself has appeared in DEADFIRE in the form Gadarian Bosch foretold. That's more proof than any of his faithful could ever ask. What fortune to be given this opportunity, to know our God in the living world. Gadarian Bosch warned us. Those outside the partisans may ridicule us and test our faith, especially our old families, and others close to them. We've learned it's best to keep to ourselves and those with open minds, which relations and friends mostly aren't.
We can go. Hey, kid. What was your name again?
Bairn.
Right. This lighted path fellow, Bosch. Sounds interesting. There's some way I can meet him?
He's usually on the move, rallying followers. But the partisans of the lighted path often gather in the temple of Aethys in Nekataka. I seem to go there myself, in fact. There's an adherent there, Ogna, who initiates new partisans. No doubt she'd be pleased to help you. Aethys needs able soldiers, even in their elder years. You should consider what Ogna has to say. It might speak to you. Farewell.
You blink and find yourself standing in the knee-high grass of an endless field, with the day just falling into dusk. The grass still holds the warmth of late afternoon sunlight, but a chill breeze blows at your back, raising goose flesh down your arms. The chirr and trill of nightjars rises with the wind. In the inky bruise of the sky, stars ignite by the ones and twos. The tolling of a single bell joins the chorus of birdsong, then another. The sound surrounds you. Every stalk of grass bears a delicate silver bell on its end, bobbing in the wind. The chill breeze becomes a howling gale, and the tide of ringing bells sweeps you off your feet. It carries you like flotsam through the sea of grass. Then, the earth falls away. The wind ceases, and you are sent tumbling up into the dark of the sky.
Watcher.
The voice of the pallid night shakes the earth at your feet. You have returned to Bareth's realm, your soul once more called to attend the wishes of the god of death.
Once again, you have spoken with the Child of Light. Tell me what you have learned. Intriguing.
The pallid night stares past you, pensive.
While attend. Tell me what your many eyes perceive.
Her words ring out, and a heavy silence descends. In the silence breaks the murmur of countless voices. They speak all at once in languages both known and unknown to you. In the space beside Bareth, an eye blinks open, followed fast by several more. They are round, keen eyes of Kith, the slit eyes of snakes, the small, dark marbles of birds, the bulbous lanterns of deep-sea fish.
Here we are.
A figure walks through the cloud of eyes as one might step through a door. It is an Orlan, then a pale elf, an ocean human, a Naga. Each of them eyeless. They are Wal.
This is the first interesting thing to happen in ages. And we do so love a riddle.
The figure wears an Amawa's grin, and the many voices beneath its own titter.
Some things must be lost to be found again. You knew that once, when you buried my scroll beneath the earth in Black Meadow. But it seems you have forgotten. We have read the book of your life, Watcher. It is heavy with the weight of your choices, and its pages are not unmarred by the blood of others. You read, but on a smaller scale. We see between the strings of the world, and Aothis is there, strumming them like a lute. His tongue is still, yet he sings of a coming joy. What tune he plays, we do not know. It is complex, ever-shifting. One moment vibrating in harmony, the next in discord.
A man strides through the door to Bareth's realm. Behind him lope wolves with lolling tongues, and jungle cats whose long tails twitch with every step. Galawain, the changeling, arrives, and he brings with him the wild heart of Aora's untamed places. Fast on Galawain's heels, a small wave of seawater washes across the tiles. It pours off the edge of the platform and cascades down into the beyond. From out of the water rears a glowing lure, then the head of a gigantic fish. The round black eyes of Andra roll to meet yours.
Aothis is nothing if not resourceful. I admire his nerve.
In the changeling's voice, you hear the soft patter of rain on leaves and the rush of wind through treetops.
No, he is a creature of the pack left long alone. Without our strength behind him, he is weak. If his journey leads him back to us, he has proved himself worthy of return to the fold.
Aothis does not return to us. He returns to execute some grand plan. We must stop him.
Andra's voice rises like a tide, panic riding its crest. The doors lining the walls of Bareth's realm slam open in unison. Warped pieces of ancient armor and the remnants of discarded weapons roar through the doorways. They meet in the center of the room, in a shower of sparks and form, The vague figure of a man. Finally, a blacksmith's sledge hurtles past your shoulder, and the figure snatches it from the air. A man made half of metal and half of ruined skin stands before you. The rounded metal of a well-worn shield makes up most of his skull, his right eye socket, and jaw. His mouth is pulled forever into a half-grimace.
If Eothas has something foolish planned, perhaps we can turn him from that path and set him down a more productive one.
Abaddon's words crash and screech together, like long steel gears forced to movement for the first time in centuries.
Abaddon speaks with a child's naivety.
Andra says.
He violates not their realms, but mine. I feel his urgency in every stamp of his feet along my spine. I will send tsunamis to slow him, if Mogren would stir the earth beneath Mogren's teeth.
The water at your feet recedes. Lava oozes up through the shallow water, and a woman made from the guts of the earth emerges. She settles her characteristic broadsword on her shoulder and sighs a cloud of smoke and ash. Mogren returns.
In the age when our steps carved valleys across the face of Eora, our bodies were impervious to all but the strongest attacks. I doubt fire and water will be enough to stop him, but I will bear down upon Eothas with all the heat and fury of the earth. If I must.
The deep, bellowing cry of an aurochs shakes the ground beneath your feet. The cry drones on and on, a moan without end. Wal's many eyes squeeze shut. Andra slips back beneath her waves. Mogren dissipates in a swirling cloud of steam. Galawain's beasts cower and whine. Only the pallid night stands impassive.
My end comes to all things in time. Should Eothas care to hasten the inevitable, I welcome his efforts. You will not be so swift to cheer the end of the world when the cold wind of my final judgment bears down upon you.
Remergond says. His deep chuckle shakes and rattles the ground beneath you.
Eothas seeks a slate wiped clean. Freedom from the endless revolutions of Barath's wheel. The final emancipation of the countless stolen mortal lives the gods hoard within themselves.
The Child of Light will not choose the hour of my death.
Mogren tests the edge of her broadsword with a smoldering finger.
He sows chaos in his longing for a radiant dawn. So much will be lost in the cacophony of fear his actions inspire.
The crack of thunder rends the air. The gods fall silent.
We can wait no longer to act. Speak with him, Watcher. Discover what it is he plans.
Water begins to creep across the floor. It swells, runs swiftly, and catches at your ankles. You scrabble at the tiles, but it's no use. The current's pull drags you off the edge of Bareth's realm and into the fathomless beyond. You splash down in water so dark you can't see the bottom. Then, the water recedes, gone like a dream upon waking. The hard wood of your cabin's floor presses against your spine. The gods are gone, but you remain.
My lord?
Shiplife, tell me what's on your mind. Always, it calls to me. I got a wildness in my... Oh, Can you... Already, they're giving me... I'm glad we talked.
Here we are again, what I must admit. Perfetto. You only have to ask. Que? Menea was a... It appears to have... After we parted ways, the trade agreement we broke, the Duke's bells were so... Spirento is the most beautiful. Still, our profit came at the expense of the Deerwood. Well, even if he has taken... And I doubt Bareth and the... But this is just the same. We need to find a way to turn the... Where I am assigned is... If the Dukes need me here, I am glad... Good. I have no concerns, Watcher. Watcher, you only have to ask.
Vela, that's not of great, and there are tie-ins, but others will want to know. This is no small... Don't you worry what will come next? It reminds me of the question I promised to tell. As you may have guessed, animancy is a subject. That's where it gets. After that incident in Old Vale, it's existed for over... That's when I realized how short-sighted... By studying its origin... Fate, Denispa... I found references to an ancient... And they appear to have been working into... There's the challenge. Most sources refer to them as... I don't know where in the dead... That's all I ask. What's on your mind? Wasn't what I had this idea that maybe, but it was like somebody, when he looked at you, it's not his fault. If she was so sure of herself, she'd have...